Go ahead.
The recording is started.
Oh, could I throw one? Whoops. I was
All
just
right.
gonna throw one more little character detail in
Yeah,
there.
go ahead.
Basically, his wife was enlisted and executed as a traitor, and
What?
that has changed his disposition some.
Yeah, I imagine
I would
so.
imagine.
I do like
Oh,
to
but
imagine that that is like the first detail people find out is people lean over in the cafeteria and go, "Yeah, that guy's wife got executed for treason." It's,
God damn.
it's a rough one, but hey, it's
they could have
unfortunate.
just sat down.
Yeah,
George
just
Jerry-
bragging, and then he brings
Alright.
that up, and he just has a blank face.
All right.
And we'll get started now. It is the year 0079 of the Universal Century. A half century has passed since Earth began moving its burgeoning population into gigantic orbiting space colonies, a new home for mankind where people are born and raised and die. A week ago, the cluster of colonies furthest from Earth, called Side 3, proclaimed themselves the Principality of Xeon and launched a war for independence. The initial battles of the war cost both sides half their population. Xeon dropped a colony on the Earth, placing what was Sydney for 500 kilometers in any direction underwater and killing millions. The end death toll of this act will be around 2 billion. Billions more will die before the conflict ends. You are among the forces of the Principality of Xeon gathering at Side 5 for a decisive battle against the Earth Federation Space Forces. A second Operation British is being planned, a second colony drop that will end the war. The Federation fleet will come to stop you, but in the end, it will all crash and burn. And we zoom in on the ZSV Cuxhaven, the ship that you are currently all based off of for this operation. Currently, I would say you are all about in your quarters, going through the various downtime activities you might engage, and we will start with your commanding officer as we zoom in on Isaac Urban. What is he doing as the ship drifts into position for the upcoming operation?
Oh, just sort of calmly reading a manual.
What's the manual about? Is it technical manual? Is it just anything else?
It's actually
Recreation?
an identification guide. Sort of like how to see things in space, because Minovsky interference means you have to rely on optical.
Yeah, you have it better off than the Feddies do, that's for sure, though, as they're still kind of scrambling with the fact that all their fancy tools don't work. Being thrust into the era of dogfighting has certainly put the Feds on the back foot up here. Is there anything particular you're looking to try to identify?
Well, actually, just like it's really refresher about like seeing the signs of something moving far away, especially if they're running
Fair
quiet.
enough. Okay, yeah, fair enough. All right, and we're going to cut away, and I want to know what the lovely old Petty Officer Sigurd Ronable is up to as the Cuxhaven drifts ever closer to the AO.
Trying to fix my chair.
In your office, you're trying to fix your chair at the moment, Sigurd? What's wrong
Yeah.
with your chair?
I'm pretty sure it's a hydraulic leak, but I'm getting frustrated because I'm not familiar with the manufacturer of this, and I'm usually very, very good with mechanical things.
Well, it's interesting, Sigurd, because this Zaku was assigned to you for this operation, and it has a completely different seating arrangement compared to the Zaku you were trained in. It's like everything that is part of this seat comes from a different manufacturer from the seat of your nearly otherwise identical other Zaku.
That
What's-
frustrates me immensely because I've studied so much, and I
Are you
finally get my own, and it's not doing it.
yeah? Are you waving off the other mechanics, or are you allowing other people to try to help you with your chair issue?
Oh no, there will be a wrench thrown in their direction if they get in my way.
Yeah, I think the mechanics have learned to avoid you since you came aboard the ship. That's for sure.
I tend to be pretty grumpy. Don't tell me how to do my job, kid.
Fair enough.
As I'm
it
getting
ha-
progressively more frustrated with lack of progress.
It hasn't won you any friends, but you know what? I'm going to call for an engineering and keen test from you to see if you can finally figure out what's been going wrong with the hydraulics of your cockpit seat.
Right.
And we are working off the honor system here. You can roll in whatever program or with real life dice you want. Tell me the result. I am trusting you all will not cheat.
All right. So keen is 3. Engineering is
Yep. So you have a
5.
threshold of 8, and you are rolling a
Oof,
2d6.
11.
11. So that is 4 failures.
It's the world's most uncomfortable chair.
This is a mad seat.
You, Sigurd, you think you finally figure it out. You yank out a part, and there's at first the seat finally stabilizes. Everything looks good, and then you stretch up your arms in victory, and the whole thing rocks backward, tilting you up so you're now facing the very top optical systems of your suit.
Well, this is less than ideal.
There is uproarious laughter from the mechanics who've been avoiding you but observe.
All right, which
Even
one of
if-
you fuck sabotaged my thing?
Hey, no one sabotaged your suit, Hop Shot. You did that all yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is
We'll
why they
start
don't let
looking for
pilots
another
work on their
seat to
own
steal.
stuff, Sigurd. Sigurd, do you respond to the mechanics hooting and hollering at all, or do you just ignore them and stare at the top of your mobile suit's cock?
Just an arm coming out of this side with a middle finger.
And that's where we cut away, and we will now go to Petty Officer George Gold. Where are you, George? Again, the Cuxhaven is just drifting into the battle line, taking you to where you're going to be deployed.
He's probably just sitting on some boxes somewhere in the ship, somewhat close to the hangar, just playing with his like horseshoe he's had since he was pretty young. This is his good luck charm, and he's just absolutely in his own world, humming a song he heard in a western movie soundtrack. And he's just like staring through someone's soul without even realizing it, and they're getting slowly uncomfortable.
Yeah, it is actually the political officer of the ship that you are making uncomfortable at the moment, as political officer Tel Hans clears his throat and goes, Petty Officer, are you quite well?
Oh, yeah, sir. I'm just in my own world.
Well, remember to stay in this world to fight for the creation of the Zeonic world.
Oh yeah, I'm just not in my mobile suit yet, and just kind of bored.
Well, if you're so bored, perhaps you could go see about preparing for the great struggle.
I've already been through everything, but I guess I'll do it one more time, just for you. And he kind of smiles and he
Good man.
salutes and
Hail
walks away.
Zeon!
Hail Zeon!
And he walks away after giving the salute. And you see the political officer quickly notice someone else who appears to have been desperately trying to avoid his attention. And he begins giving a lecture to them on the intricacies of current political thought within the Principality of Zeon. He's a staunch Gironist, so this takes a very distinct flavor very quickly. Thankfully, he's not your commanding officer. He's just here. All right. And
Go.
what was were you? Do you have a question, Val?
Oh, nothing.
Well, good news. We're cutting directly to you now. So where is Jean Deere?
Oh, well, Jean is actually in his old reliable Zaku 1, who he has coined he's coined the Zaku 1 he's piloting Maisie after his own paramour. And currently he is securing an old sentimental photo of them on a more romantic outing in '77 before the war really kicked off, to the cockpit of the Zaku 1, venerable as it is.
Good old photo in the cockpit.
It's kind of whistling a tune. The tune is old as dirt, probably from the 50s. And he doesn't seem too frazzled by all the hustle and bustle.
The
Maybe
hooting and hollering one mobile suit down.
and that's just standard behavior for mechanics. You don't know what you're talking about. I suppose he takes some time actually to examine the newfangled ASW-78 anti-ship rifle on account of him having been assigned it, and it being a relatively recent weapon considering it was a 78 design, and we are in
It is-
January.
And it is a beautiful piece of equipment. This thing is able to spit out shells. It's bigger than multiple people put together. You're pretty sure one of these shells dropped on a tank would just crush it from the sheer weight alone. You're used to ridiculous sized ammunition. Don't get me wrong. You have a machine gun that spits out 120 millimeter as fast as a Maxim gun. But this you believe you could take anything out with. After
Damn.
all, you also have the rounds split into submunitions after penetration, meaning that all you need to do is hit and get that penetration, and you will cause potentially critical damage to a vessel. But getting the penetration is the hard part. Everyone knows these Fetty ships are up armored and up gunned for specifically that sort of big gun fight.
I suppose it's part of why they entrusted it to a Zaku 1 pilot. Not just because they're experienced, but because the Zaku 1 putting itself in harm's way is less bad than a Zaku 2.
True enough.
Well, John's not thinking about that. He's thinking about the fact that his gun is a fine, pretty piece of fine Zeonic engineering. He has not seen the Zimad serial numbers on the side. You know, proprietary information.
You have been instructed, and I will give you this as a freebie, that we should be specifically targeting the engines, or if at all possible, the bridge. But you know that advice, Jean, is kind of a running joke in the Xeon forces. Yeah, target the bridge. Easier said
If you
than
can
done.
hit it, then the anti-ship rifle's a moot point, ain't it?
Exactly. And without further ado, last but not least, the camera goes through the hallways of the ship once more and focuses on Ensign Fio.
Fio is sitting in the locker room, dressed up in his normal suit, just kind of staring into the visor of his helmet while he fiddles with the ivory roulette pill that he keeps as a little good luck charm. Just that little roulette ball. It's a nice fidget item.
get you.
He's trying to center himself before the battle, thinking back to his last deployment at the 1 week battle and the harrowing events of it. Things went pretty poorly, and like our good buddy Sig is well aware of, Xeon ain't too nice all the time. But Fio is glad to no longer be attached to a squad that's going to be trying to shoot down deserters or prevent Zaku's from being captured.
You know, you had a really big talk when you first came aboard this vessel. Tel Hans gave you special attention, basically reassuring you that everything you had done was for the success of Xeon. And while it had been nasty work, someone had to do it. How did you respond to the political officer's attempts to console you and recontextualize your mission within a political context?
Certainly placated. The officer, Theo, actively placating the officer rather than taking it too far to heart. That's sort of a bitter pill. But
Not an easy one either.
uh, knowing that that squad is operating and is almost assuredly going to be deployed somewhere in the combat zone. It's part of the reason he left the shoulder of his Zaku painted the squad leaders yellow to point himself out as well, so that he puts on enough of a showing as a loyal son of Xeon to not get himself shot in the back.
I have 2 questions for you.
I have
The
answered.
first question is directly related to Theo's concerns. Has Theo tried to look into where his old squad may be deployed in this fight?
Potentially, but probably not too hard.
Okay. I will let you, if you choose, roll politics tact with a -2.
Politics.
And if you get some successes, you might get information about them.
All right, let's give that a shot. And that's a -2 to the result, not the target.
To the target.
To the target. Okay.
So that was a great question. Any negative like that, 9 times out of 10 is going to be applied to the target number, making it harder for you to succeed. A positive is going to be applied to the target number, making it easier for you to succeed.
That's unfortunately going to be a 9, which will not quite make that 4.
Yeah, it's unfortunately you've heard nothing. Well, you don't know where they are. You don't even know that they're at this battle. And that might be something that worries you the most.
Exactly. But
Next question is, how do you feel about serving under a lieutenant junior grade? So this guy came out of the academy, same as you. You both went through the officer courses. But this guy's 2 years younger than you. How do you feel about that, Ensign?
not too worried about it. I mean, he did get the promotion. He probably earned it.
So you're just keeping faith in the system right now.
Might as well.
Fair enough. And as if the ship itself can hear your might as well, there is suddenly a buzz sound that sounds like nothing less than someone grinding something across the microphone before a voice comes over the intercom systems and says, Autonomous, 5th Autonomous Team, report to briefing room 101 for mission assignment. I repeat, 5th Autonomous Team, report to mission room 101 for mission assignment. Message ends. And then there is that same, almost like nails on chalkboard screech as they move the microphone around, and the intercom cuts out. Now the question is, are you all heading to the briefing room, or any of you lollygagging?
Oh, fine. Twist my arm, why don't you?
I'm gonna take a little like hydraulic tool that is usually used to like open gates and just pop it underneath and behind the seat and deploy it
Fair
Can
enough.
I?
and then
Can I?
hop out.
I'd like to race to be there first.
Okay, unless anyone else is like rushing, I'll say you get there first. But like,
By a
Perfect
lot.
excuse to run through the halls.
I'm sure the ready room is close, so
You think?
well, you're not really running, Isaac. You kind of are bouncing off the walls, kind of, to get.
It's so much fun.
After all,
I bet your Velcro boots are loving that one.
you do get there, Isaac, and you get there so. You know what? Actually, Isaac, give me your athletics grit. Let's see how quick you get there.
Not acrobatics. And poise.
I'm gonna say athletics in this case because you're prioritizing speed of movement. If you were
Alrighty.
prioritizing Oh, I don't want to be banging my head against every fucking wall in this hallway. Yeah, acrobat.
That's one failure.
Ugh.
Okay. So you are not getting there first. And by the way, everyone, make sure you're marking the skills you failed because you have a chance to improve these between sessions. Isaac, that is one failure. So we are now going to introduce another mechanic here that I'm sure two of you at least have been wondering why I haven't called for it, and this is why, so we can introduce it now. We're going to roll narrative points. Who would like to be the one who does it? For explanation, you are rolling basically in this case, there's 5 of you, so you are rolling a 1d10. Whatever you get as the result is the amount of narrative points you have. Whatever is left over, if any, is what I have.
I ain't got no 1d10 on me.
I have one, just not a lot of luck.
I also have one.
You know what? All right, let's have PC Crush roll then.
All right.
Can't be me.
So that's going to be a 10.
All right, so you all have 10 narrative points for the Battle of Loon.
Chose wisely.
That's very good for you. Now, Isaac, would you like to spend one of those narrative points to add a retroactive +1 to your roll to
I
succeed
think
and
I
get there
would.
ahead of everyone? All right. So everyone keep in mind you now have 9 narrative points.
Wait,
if you look below
actually-
your attributes, you will see the box where you can fill those in.
Perry, you made a deal with
Yes,
us
go.
that if we took a Zaku 1, which John Deere has, that we get an extra one.
Howdy.
You're right. So you would actually be starting with 11 narrative points. You have just gone down to 10 now, and I have gained 1 from that expenditure. So you still have 10 narrative points. Nothing changed effectively. I just have 1 pitiful narrative point.
Don't worry. There's still nukes flying around. We'll find a use for it.
I'm not worried. I'll have plenty of narrative points by the end of this fight. I'm fairly certain. All right. So Isaac, you get there. You're a little out of breath, red in the face, but you managed to get there ahead of even the captain of the Cuxhaven.
Gearing up scared.
So you arrive at the door, you brace yourself, and a few moments later, the captain drifts by, and she takes a look at you, and she's like, "Oh, Lieutenant Junior Grade Urban, I was not expecting you to be here so early. Well done." And she drifts past you, gives you a little pat on the shoulder like an attaboy, and then goes to float above the desk, waiting for the rest of your team to arrive.
I sit down and try to look as nonchalant
I
as
imagine
possible.
I'll arrive next, probably being.
Yeah, you
Up
were in
the
your
hall.
quarters. You were fairly close. You're next, ensign. So you get there. The captain's there. Your lieutenant's there already.
Salute on the way in and go on and find a seat.
And then the rest of you filter in your own time.
All of these seats are comically undersized for the 5 grit squad.
That's true. Honestly, that's not far off.
We're all rocking the black TriStar physique. I'm sorry.
That actually is kind of accurate, except for Isaac. Isaac is just normal, and then the rest of you are black TriStar build.
The bulk TriStars.
the bulk triceps.
The built
Quad
God.
stars.
TriStars?
We'll workshop it once we're done killing fetties.
So true. Once you're all there, the captain just clears her throat and then begins to launch into a somewhat lackadaisical briefing since the political officer is here. You've all sat through these before. It's dry. There's a presentation that she's flipping through. She doesn't want to be doing this. You don't want to be doing this, but we have to do this. Eventually, the general gist of it is you have all been pulled off the MS Corps' attack. You didn't even know there was going to be an MS Corps attack, but you've been pulled off it. So I guess it's not your concern anymore. And the captain proceeds to explain that you have all pulled the straw alongside her and the Cuxhaven of guarding the foreign workers who have been volunteered patriotically to install the nuclear pulse engines on the colony. and you are to protect these brave foreign volunteers in their work and ensure none of them attempt to desert their work due to the panic of battle. And to ensure it goes through without a hitch. Basically, your rear guard. As she finishes the presentation, she closes it all down, takes the paper down, and basically goes, "It shouldn't be too hard. As long as the main battle line holds, well, I mean, even then, there will be the reserves before that. We're essentially the last line of defense. So stay alert, but I don't expect we'll see much action in this fight."
Understood, ma'am.
That's
Ma'am.
unfortunate.
I
Yes,
got a,
I
ma'am.
kind of wanted to.
I got a question actually, ma'am.
Yes, Chief Petty Officer?
Is there any vehicles inside the colony itself, or any former garrisons before we liberated them?
No, the colony was successfully evacuated either by our forces or the Federation. It's a little unclear. Shortly before our arrival. All that was left were these workers from the Colony Construction Company who, as we have been informed, have volunteered to put their talents and equipment to use in installing the nuclear pulse
I'm
engine.
not here.
Thank you, ma'am. And that answers my question nicely.
Of course.
I'll be
Any
right
other-
back.
Oh, no worries.
Hello?
Welcome back.
Hello.
Can you hear us, the dude?
Well, uh-oh.
Oh, he may have lost hearing for a bit.
Sorry,
The
guys,
presentation
I'm
was
seem to
that
be having
dull.
technical issues. Let's see.
A new Federation super
Have you
weapon?
returned to us, or
I too say these things on Zoom calls to not listen to my superiors. He'll be a fine chief petty officer in no time.
he's on his way? He's on his.
Oh,
We'll give him an. We'll see if he is fixed after this. If not, we'll continue a little bit, and hopefully he's able to rejoin us as soon as possible.
oh,
Welcome back.
Who?
The dude. Do you live?
Oh,
He is still lost to us.
Can't
he's
believe it.
very quiet now.
damn Federation super weapon with Minovsky particles and shit.
Me when the Minovsky interference actually takes me out of the game I'm in. So immersive.
Oh, fuck.
Second, let me try switching to my.
When you get hit with a beam rifle and like a barrel like psychically teleports out of your screen and fucking kills you.
Makuve, I asked for DOMs. This is not. This is not what I meant.
What?
It's the bear TriStars.
All right, and we'll wrap up the briefing scene while we wait for him. But essentially, the captain looks at you all up and down and says, "Any other questions?"
Hello.
Hello, can
Hello.
you hear us?
Oh,
Hello.
I'm gonna
so-
take
Hello.
Well,
Howdy.
dude.
I don't know what happened there. My audio just got screwed on.
It's fine. Better to have this out the
Hey.
way beforehand. You know?
Yeah, at least it's not in the fight.
Also,
Yeah.
Yeah.
actually, I'll have one last thing for the captain then.
Yeah, go
Whenever
ahead.
those pulse engines begin going, are we gonna try to keep up with them, or are we just gonna let them rock?
Once the colony begins its acceleration, we will be pulling off and getting far, far out of the way, as I have no desire of having my ship become a fly on a windshield, I think the phrase is. So, once the Colony Construction Corp workers give us the all clear, we will be immediately peeling out of the area to clear the way.
Aye, aye.
If there's no further questions, you're all dismissed. The operation will begin. She checks her watch. Set your watches 3 hours from now.
I do so.
do as well, ma'am.
Was that
I
a ma'am
adjust
as in
my
a
pocket
question or
watch.
just a?
Affirmative.
Okay, understood. And
I don't. I let the wind take me wherever I need to be when I need to get there.
she dismisses you all with a hail Xeon and then floats out.
Say Xeon.
Xeon.
Actually, what class of ship are we on? Is this just a standard Musai or?
This is a standard Musai, the Cuxhaven. It's a little cramped in the hangar, even with all of your mobile suits basically stacked, because as a reminder, your mobile suits are not standing up in the hangar. They are floating.
And even then, Musais are only built to furnish 3 Zakus, so we're kind of pushing it.
Yeah, you're pushing it quite hard, which is in part why she's excited to get you off her ship.
What, we leave the Ko-Musai back at Granada?
Basically, let's just say space is being used to its most maximum efficiency within operational standards.
That's concerning that they left the Ko-Musai back at Granada, because now it
Wow.
means there's no escape pod for anyone.
Well,
It's
who
it's
needs
full
it?
of
They're not gonna-
classified equipment.
who needs it? They're not going to see combat anyways. It's going to be a walk in the park. Federation's be
Oh, you know what? You're so right. You're so right. The commander checks notes.
Murphy.
Look, tell Hans has never guided anyone wrong in his life, and you can tell Hans whatever you want.
Please tell Hans whatever you
Please tell
feel.
Hans whatever you feel. I assure you, your response will be noted.
Purely for therapeutic benefit.
Hmm? Did you not get that in your care package from Xeon?
So I guess the question is now, just to get us all back on track, is what do you all want to do in those 3 hours? Are you going to do some fun, mandatory fun that Isaac comes up with? Are you all going to hang out and do something? Or are you all going to go your own separate ways for a bit?
I do mandatory fun.
I'm just, hey, I don't know if you do mandatory fun. That's something you should establish if you do or not.
I'm gonna go grab a drink.
Oh no, he's
It
thinking.
explodes off to get a drink.
Yeah, you know what? I'll come with you.
I'm gonna see if the mechanics have anything kicking around the hangar. Yeah.
George is gonna go sit in his mobile suit.
Okay, so 2 to the hangar, 2 to get drinks. Isaac, where are you headed? Your team is splitting in half.
I'm gonna go to the ready room and read a book.
Excellent, excellent.
I love our commanding officer. Just does not give a fuck.
As long as he looks good, right?
Exactly.
GoMind is truly playing the perfect Xeon CF.
They're either too enthusiastic or not present. This is accurate.
All right, let's focus on team get drinks first. As you two float over to the calf, essentially, your options are kind of limited, though they are giving the old classic of here's your special ration since we're beginning the operation.
Yeah. All right.
A whole extra thing of
Suppose
pudding.
I'll.
Let me get a double of brandy and protein jelly.
We got rum.
Rum works for me.
Right, you are all given a issue of rum along with your meal.
I'll like hold up the little cup container and the good luck, Sig.
Copy that.
And a little cheers.
Cheers.
Shoot that rum real quick and
Knocking it back.
yes, sir.
You're knocking it back in 0 gravity.
I was wondering about that. So,
You know, it's
are you
Literally
like
knocking it
floating on your back,
back like as a globule of liquid.
or are you
straight
like
into
knocking
mouth.
it back at a straw, like quickly, like
yeah,
a-
I'm sure it's like a thick straw, like a sippy cup almost.
They serve you rum in a juice box.
You just slug it real quick.
Yes, actually, that is what. This
and
looks
it is
like.
for the record. I will clarify right now, lest you all need to know what type of game this is going to be in some ways. The official brand of this military issue rum that you have been given is Zum.
Yes,
Oh,
summon
God.
rum.
Summon rum.
Zum and
I've thought
cola.
about Zum and Rum, formerly Chuck's, as a fucking bit for so long. Never mind.
You're fine. I'm glad you approved. You've all had your issue of Zummernrum, and you've had your meal. In this case, it's basically one stage above the usual space food you get for rations, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
But at least it's in a miracle given to you by the great Degwin himself. You have none of the shitty rations for once.
Dude.
I'm not actually enjoying mine. I prefer the.
There's a comfort in it, right?
There's
If it's-
always one guy who finds something to complain about with it. That's
when the meal
perfect.
tastes too good, you're worried it's your last one.
It's going to be a cakewalk, so that shouldn't be a problem. And we cut away to the hangar team. What are y'all doing in the hangar?
George is kind of spinning his horseshoe in zero gravity while he's doing his test that he said he'd do for the political officer. Just still humming along to himself.
You know, when you say
Yeah.
that, I imagine a multiple choice
John
question,
is-
like test.
Do you like Xeon? Yes. Yes.
On a scale
yes.
from
Federation
strongly
spy.
disagree to strongly agree, I support the Principality of Xeon in all its endeavors.
Jean is kind of rustling up some of the mechanics, who I am sure are also ecstatic to have a empty hangar bay soon enough.
Oh, yes. They have already started busting out the crates for card games.
Well, I hate to bother y'all one last time before we settle out.
Yeah, go ahead, Chief.
I was willing to help out with all this, but I wanted to see if we had any extra shoulder polish for the old gal. Maisie's pretty as a picture, but I'd rather her be dressed up for this occasion.
Well, we could take a look, but I can't promise much unless someone cocked up the supply order. You just hold one, and we'll go search around, see what we can find.
Well, that's
Jean, I'm going to offer you the chance here to spend a narrative point, and if you spend this narrative point, they will be able to scrounge up a shield for your Zaku 1, essentially giving it a 1 HP shield on the shoulder, just like the Zaku 2.
I will absolutely take that narrative deal.
All right, you flip it over. All of you subtract the narrative points from 10 to 9, and you now have a 1-point shield on your Zaku 1 for this.
She's
You know what? Because I'm feeling particularly generous and you spent a narrative point, I'm going to say that the mechanics kind of like the cut of your jib in how you approach this. So they help you do a little, let's call it up armoring. So make it a 2-point shield.
Ooh.
Well, that's mighty fine work, gentlemen. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries, Chief. Give those fetties hell, hey?
Yeah, well, here's hoping we don't see none, right? We'll be back in side 3. We'll be back in side 3, getting booze and celebrating an easy war by the end of March.
Here's open.
Here's hoping. Anyway.
And finally, we go to Isaac Urban. What narratively appropriate book are you reading, Bookworm?
I picked the first one up I could find in the ship's library. I've never actually owned my own books.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's about some ancient Earth battle called Midway.
Huh. Do I get a roll to improve from that? Do I learn anything?
Skyrim skill book.
I'll keep it in mind for your academics in your downtime that you are reading a book on the battle of Midway.
Thing is, like, I just pick the first one I see every single time.
You've read this book 5 times already. It's the first one in the fucking bookshelf.
Someone keeps moving it, so Isaac keeps picking it up for.
Then I keep at to putting it back in. It's like, oh, read that one.
All right.
Piece of candy.
So, before we get into the Battle of Loom, because that's what's coming next, I'm going to give everyone a, let's call it 5-minute break just to refill water, use the restroom, stretch out a little bit before we get into the actual fighting.
I will
Right,
use the restroom.
I'll be back.
And I will.
I'll be back as well.
Oh
Yeah, I
fuck!
will
I
do the
think I
same.
got stuffed crust pepperoni pizza.
Ooh.
That's always fun to find. I'll be
I
RB as
will.
well.
I will be getting some.
I'm back.
I'll return with some pepperoni pizza.
I only heard pepper. What are you doing with that
Pepperoni.
pepper?
I'm here some a pepperoni pizza. Oh dear. Oh dear, Dig would save me. That girl's bad for my health.
Oh, not that one.
Not that bad. Save her from me later, Lord.
Patriots, I'm just going to need another couple minutes. Won't be long. We'll be resuming at 8 o'clock at latest. I'm just going to go fetch my wife something real quick.
Aye, sir.
I just had an amazing thought.
Oh,
Pasta sauce toast.
I wouldn't call that an amazing idea.
Well,
That's
I
just
like
garlic
toast
bread.
and I like pasta sauce, so what if I combine the two things I like?
Hot dog.
I
Do you
got
not
go
have
crazy.
garlic bread
Hot.
with your spaghetti?
I don't like garlic bread, to be completely
it-
frank.
What?
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 The
All right.
the flavor profile of garlic
Hans.
doesn't agree with me.
Get him. He's a. Oh.
Wow.
Well, if you never had this before, try out hot dog, right? Get you some cream cheese on that bitch with some caramelized onion.
I'm actually vegan, so that doesn't
Trust
really
me, it's
work
good.
out too well.
My favorite weird shit is peanut butter and banana pepper sandwiches.
What's a banana
Shut
pepper?
up.
See ya.
Huh?
What's a banana pepper?
Like a peppercini.
It's just a type.
Little yellow guys. Kind of like a jalapeno, but more sour.
Reminds me of peanut butter and bacon sandwiches.
No, that's not weird. That's just America.
Hell yeah, brother. What is weird though? One time I met a guy that ate a fucking peanut butter mayonnaise sandwich, and I was like, brother.
Ugh.
Oh,
I met someone who ate a peanut butter and
Bro.
onion sandwich.
I could
Oh.
fuck with that. Red
that
onions.
That ain't hunger. That's famine, brother.
Yeah, I had barbecue sandwiches back in the day. And when I say
Man.
barbecue, I mean just barbecue sauce.
Mm.
The only thing in my fridge was booze.
One thing I did was I got ham with some barbecue sauce and some of that shredded cheese. What I did was I put it in the microwave, let it heat up for a little bit. Ham formed up around the shredded cheese and barbecue sauce. Put that in a sandwich.
I've done that on a tortilla. That exact thing.
Bachelor food.
Struggle, man. Shit, I was already married for 15 years. I was just really high.
Bachelor food it's still bachelor food.
True.
I'm gonna eat. Look, I'm the type of guy who would unironically eat a round meal. Boil in bag. Open and enjoy.
I have gout, so my dietary diet has changed quite a bit, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I'm 20, so I don't have to deal with that shit yet, so I'm fine.
Pro tip, don't get an Instant Pot and an air fryer 2 weeks apart and then go to Golden Corral every other week for 2 months straight and get 3 plates of just meat.
we're
Then,
talking-
well,
Still better than getting like Chinese buffet crawfish.
oh, hard pass forever.
I can go down and get some real crawfish anyhow. Give me
What are
a
we talking
craw-
about?
No, I'm talking about crawfish boiling.
Dietary
Oh
concerns.
man, I haven't had that in years.
Hello, I'm back.
Howdy,
Welcome
Big
back.
Hi
Fish.
back, I'm going.
Everybody back?
That everybody?
Yes, that is.
Should be.
Hey, Mark. Dude.
I'm just setting up the combat tracker now for tonight, so you all feel free to do a little bit more RP among yourselves if you want, in terms of the two teams that are already established, or if anyone's rotating. And then once the combat tracker's all set up, we're going to be beginning in the fight and launching.
I'm not going to
So
pass.
get
I'm
ready.
just going to make uncomfortable eye contact with you. Prolong
When you
uncomfortable.
said to mark a skill,
Box, you just
for-
click that once, boom.
okay.
And that way, if you fail it, you can attempt to improve at the end of session, and there's also training actions that we could have done, but I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't have a lot of time for training anyway, so it's probably for the best.
You know, that's what the manual and book was for. I was like, oh, I should probably like try to fit one
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, and I approve. I really do approve. And you know what? You make a good point, Go Mind. That was your big action. Was you were reading a lot. So you know what, Bud? What do you want to try to improve?
I'd like to try to improve my investigate.
Fortunately, you read about the Battle of Midway.
No, my earlier one with the field manual
Oh,
on
right,
IDing
right.
things in
Yes,
space.
okay. You know what? Yeah, go ahead. Roll investigate.
My investigate is a 2. The way this works is I take a single d6, and I need to get above a 2. I rolled exactly a 2, no improvement.
Damn.
That happens sometimes.
Don't forget to mark that down in the improvement
That's not
checks
a-
once you're done with the session.
It's not a skill check.
Yeah, it does. The failure to train does not count as a skill check for the purpose of fail to improve.
Ah, okay.
because basically the training is a separate mechanic entirely, so it doesn't work off the skills. Otherwise, you could do things like spend narrative points and whatnot, and it would start to
Oh.
get a little crazy.
Yeah, that would be wild. Hey, I know we're right about that loom, but here's my aim maneuver, sucker one.
Exactly.
Go Manasari.
Sorry, this is taking a little bit. I've actually never used the UMP combat tracker before. So
Yeah, it's
it's
something
a fun little
I
invention that I'm getting to play with.
yeah, I've tinkered around with it quite a bit.
It's funny that it wants to say that you're all in Zaku 2 command variants.
That's
It's
just
trying to
how
autocorrect Zaku 2 to
Google
Zaku 2
Sheets
command variant.
works.
I know it's Google. I know it's Google. I'm familiar enough with Google Sheets. But it's just funny because, like, right now, Theo's in a command variant Zaku, and I'm like, no,
Not quite.
not yet.
He'd like that,
We're
wouldn't
working
he?
on it. Hey, we're gonna staple a horn to your Zaku. It's not actually gonna do anything, but you will draw more fire.
And it'll look cool as hell, and I'll be totally down with it.
A bonus to your performance
Who am I
rolls.
drinking with?
Who are you drinking with? You're drinking with George Gold.
I'm not drinking.
What?
I'm
Huh?
in my cockpit.
What? Oh,
It was Theo who was
Theo.
drinking
Yeah,
with
I was drinking with Sig.
I'm sorry, both.
Oh, okay.
My bad. Y'all very similar.
Hey,
voices.
we are almost all new to each other. We will get there.
Hey man, is there anything weird about your chair in your cockpit?
Chair in my cockpit. No, I've had my Zaku for. I mean, it's a Zaku cockpit.
Yeah, that would make sense. But what the hell? Like, I feel like they scavenged mine off of something else.
What would they scavenge it out of?
Got no something with no lumbar support.
Not the lumbar.
I mean, you're gonna be able to fight in the damn thing, or?
Oh yeah, pain's a good motivator.
Well, shit. All right.
What an ominous thing to say to the ensign. Like, also, don't let Tal Hans hear you say that.
It's
I do my best not to let him hear me say anything.
probably for the best. All those Patriot types can be a lot to handle now and then.
Yeah. Yep. I was like that once. Now I just want to get this shit over with.
That's the hope, right?
Yep. Already broke a lot of eggs. Better enjoy that omelet.
Amen to that.
Oh man, I could go for an omelet.
Damn. You know,
Better than this. This is supposed to be like the supreme stuff, but don't taste right.
you're
You can
not
say
one
that.
of them negative folks, are you?
I just call it like I see it.
We can't have none of those negative waves, man.
Give me another brand, damn it, rum, and we'll fix it.
Will you?
I'll see if I can get him another.
All right, you know, they're kind of a little skeptical at first, but you're an ensign, so as much as they want to tell you to fuck off, you are an officer on the sheerest of technicality.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna give me a charm,
Oh boy.
and you're gonna give me a Are you trying to deceive them? Are you honestly telling them why you want the rum?
I'll give them the honest truth. I'm sort of just, poor guys. We're trying to get up the petty officer's mood so that he's not as dour headed into combat.
All right, give me a charm expression.
Alrighty. Ooh wee, that's gonna be a big failure.
Oh God! All right, well, mark it.
Well, how big? You didn't roll two
The
260s,
chef,
did you?
the cook.
No, I rolled an 11.
All right,
Oh,
there
you're
you
so
go.
close.
Close, but no. The cook basically stares at you and says, "Sir, while I admire and understand the petty officer's dependency, we are not in the habit of pity feeding people rum. If we were to do that, every single member of the ship would be in here asking me for more rum. I think you and I can both agree, sir, that that would be contrary to the good discipline of this ship."
I suppose you're right, but eh.
I got the gist of it from just kind of watching. Yeah, appreciate the effort.
You know how it is.
I
When
tip
we
up
get
my
back
little
to side
squeeze
3,
box
I
trying
can.
to get another dropout.
When we get back to side 3, I could maybe get you a bottle of wine.
Thank you, Brandy.
I'll see what I can do.
Cheap.
You like it cheap?
Yeah.
Shit, maybe maybe the medic has some rubbing alcohol if you're really hankering.
Don't give him that as an idea. Do not give.
Cocked my head to the side, like, nah. They're probably stingy with that too.
Oh, surely, but in a pinch.
Oh, I know.
And it is almost perfectly at that moment when suddenly the alarm klaxon blares. All hands, battle stations.
Go time.
Let's go.
Just what I've been
A lot
waiting
faster than I
for.
was to the briefing.
You put down your book about Midway.
Well,
How far in do you think he was?
I'd say he got to the part where things start blowing up.
So about midway?
Tell Hans, shoot that man.
No, that was perfect. Tell Hans admires the Xeon spirit of coping with humor. And if I remember correctly, you all have the absurd amount of 10 narrative points, correct?
we have 9, and you have
Oh,
time
9.
to spend.
Right. Yes, excellent. Good.
Good, yes.
You all race down to the hangar, presumably, get up in your Zaku's, ready for action. And it takes a little bit, but then the captain finally gives you permission to sortie. And there you go. You begin. The Musai begins launching you all out. Any of you develop any catchy catchphrases yet, or we're not there yet, so to speak?
Nah.
I mean, aside from
Nah, I don't think we're quite there just yet.
We're not that
we
cool.
ain't- yeah, we ain't quite there.
We aren't those guys yet.
Not those guys launching. Voted least likely launching.
King title heading out.
This is dangerous, Go Mine. This is a funny crew.
Oh.
Oh, the funny guy always makes it.
Exactly. But what if everyone's the funny guy? Then the least funny is the one who doesn't make it.
That's just a bad joke.
Isaac, you better start squeezing some clown noses.
No, I have to be dry. They're all so ridiculous.
Oh, real. True. All right. You all launch out into the void of space. And before your eyes is perhaps one of the most magnificent sights you have ever seen. The entire Xeon space fleet is arrayed in battle formations as far as the eye and, well, really optical sensors can see. Moose size after moose size. Is that a Shive class? You didn't even know they had any of those in the line right now. Just everything Xeon has is here, right here. And you are all the way behind it as your Zaku heads turn and your Mono eyes flash on, and you see the helpless little colony workers in their little balls beginning the installation of the engine.
We got nosebleed seats to history in the making.
That is quite a sight.
Interestingly, do you know what none of you see?
Well, what do none of us see?
Other mobile suits.
Oh, it's just us.
That is,
You are the only mobile suits in the entire Xeon battle line, which is a little odd, one might think. Where's the mobile suit corps?
yeah, that's a little strange.
Where is the? You'd see thrusters flashing, right? Even in the distance, it wouldn't be hard to make out all the people launching. So,
Guys, I could see why they might want to get rid of me, but did you guys do anything bad?
The flight
No.
officer comes over your comm since Minovsky particle dispersion hasn't happened yet and says, the mobile suit corps is engaged in another operation.
what other operation? Ain't this the big one?
Classified, I don't even know. But it's just you and the ships.
Oh
My
boy.
favorite word.
Well,
We're
gentlemen,
missing all the
Classified.
fun.
I suggest you all get comfortable and keep your eyes open.
Why the hell are we? It's kind of bad. We can still speak to one another. Why aren't we spreading Minovsky particles?
Dispersal is beginning shortly. Lieutenant Junior Grade, get your pilots under the control.
Understood.
Remember the objective.
And gentlemen, and remember, comms discipline, please. Nothing said over the line.
Roger that.
That is not pertinent information.
Copy.
Copy, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
The Fallout text box, everyone just like that appears.
Well,
Isaac, what's the plan here? You've got your 5 mobile suits. You've got the Cuxhaven. The Cuxhaven is a Overwatch position, basically relative to you, I should stress, since this is space, behind you, overlooking the worker. You've got about 24 or so colony construction corps workers working on the installation of the engines into the colony as the cylinder floats in the void of space.
Well, my first
How do you
question
want to
is,
disperse your guys?
does the captain have any specific orders for us?
Nope. From this point on, you are not under her command.
Understood.
It is,
I
you are an
would
autonomous
like
team.
Theo and Jean on together, and Sigurd and George together. I'll be moving around as necessary between the two. I want to set up in a broad picket in front of the ship with Sigurd and George in the front, with myself there as well, and Theo and John in the back.
So basically, just a loose picket in front of the Musai.
Yep.
The Cuxhaven.
Of course, not direct front, because I don't want to get in the captain's way in case she wants to fire her big guns. I don't want.
no,
I
I'm
get
sure
you.
that'd be perfectly fine.
I'll take the back end then.
Yeah, nice zone defense.
And there you are. A single line of 5 Zakus stretched out in space.
John's kind of getting acquainted with the rifle and how it's different in terms of firing modes and all this. Like it's a different beast than the 105 millimeter he trained on and the 120 millimeter he was assigned back in the day.
True. It is a different beast by far. But again, you have the most destructive potential of this team in your hands when it comes to these ships.
Lots of responsibility.
Is anyone actually overlooking the colony workers specifically, or are you just all holding to your pick?
Uh,
I'm looking about. I presume
George is
I'll
probably
eventually
glancing up
having
there.
to see them sooner or later. They're in mobile pods, right?
Yeah, they're in what we would call balls, essentially, mobile pods. Yeah.
Are they armed
Thankfully, none of
balls or
these
are
have been
they?
militarized. Yeah, these are just civilian ones. They have no
Civilian.
guns. They are purely using their pincers for construction
Mhm.
and assembly purposes.
they're SP WO3s. Just
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
I'm going to call them balls because we all know what they are.
they're balls, but
Not those ones yet.
yeah, yet.
They will be soon.
I mean, what? Huh? No. Hey,
Yeah, if we fail.
but yeah. So, eventually, one of them actually makes contact with you, and you hear a voice say, "This is Ken Betterstop. Is there anywhere particular we should avoid in your patrol route to avoid getting in the line?"
Just stay behind the battle line of ships.
Understood. He does not sound like an eager volunteer, but they are working.
Well, that's not my problem. You know,
True.
if Xeon
And it
Command
is at
wants
that moment
to
something far more interesting.
use
Oh, go on.
if Xeon Command wants to use conscripts for this shit show of an operation again, that's not my problem.
Not your circus, yeah. Okay. Well, at that moment, something far more interesting catches all of your attention. As you see the first purple beams of light break up that static void.
Yes.
Oh,
Look alive,
So-
boys.
the battle is joined, eh?
Yep, and your ships soon open fire with their own as NPCs are exchanged over distances too far for you to really make out at this point. But Minovsky dispersal is beginning rapidly as the moose size and everything else is doing all they could. You quickly see the first signs of explosions from the initial volley. Worryingly, most of them appear to be on your side.
They're never built to fight without their mobile suits. That's their entire point. So where the hell are they?
Yeah, I got a bad feeling about this.
The battle continues. Agonizing minutes draw out as all you see is this light show in front of you. No other details that you can make out, just an exchange of rays and then explosions. More and more on your side. Again, it's starting even for those of you who are rather unflappable. The nerves must be setting in at this point, for this is too much. The Xeon Space Force is not that big in terms of big gun ships. You all know the Federation fleet is built to win a fight like this. This is what they've wanted. And most tragically of all, you are seeing colonies erupt and explode in the crossfire. Thankfully, both sides engaged in evacuation operations, but still, are all of them evacuated?
You can't tell this distance, but
Can't just go shooting those damn things to pieces.
if we,
Heartless bastards.
I know we got our mission, but just sitting here and watching our forces and all those people get ripped apart like that is
Isaac,
Our mission seems a little more important.
Isaac, do you do anything else?
I sit in my cockpit, my arms crossed, very angrily, just sort of tapping my foot on the floor.
I think that is really the vibe of your whole team right now, in a lot of ways.
I
Wrapping my heat hawk on the side of my leg, kind of like a nervous tick.
I'm definitely like tapping on the on one of my joysticks, and I'm gonna try to like look around and sort of trace beam shots to their origin points. We got faction specific colors after all,
Yeah.
so if there's any weird Federation movement,
There is another volley of purple, which I'll give you as a freebie. I am going to call for a keen awareness systems from you, Theo. So that's going to be a 3d6 against those 3 stats as your threshold.
Can awareness system. So that'll be
So for you, that should be a
3,
threshold of 10
4.
and then a 3d6.
Yeah. Let's see where we got. Oh hell yeah. That's gonna be a 9. So that's
2
2
successes.
successes.
Theo, you are now convinced you are losing this battle. And that is, it's not just that. That latest volley, as you kind of zoom in your monoline, you zoom in at the perfect time to see 3 moose eyes ripped to pieces directly in ahead of you. And then
Shit.
you see something that immediately shocks you as your UI flashes as it begins recognizing hostiles inbound. As somehow 3 saberfishes have punched through the line. Immediately, your targeting system registers them as red team, and we enter combat as we are going to open with Theo. And I'm going to send you all the combat tracker so you can keep track of what's going on. I'm also going to show you who was talking to you a little bit ago.
Oh,
Oh. The boy.
As don't worry about those other ones yet, but
Can,
red team has entered the fight.
Can we have editing privileges on the combat sheet, please?
I suppose if you must, I will resend the link with editor permissions. There you go.
Usually just a reload.
So
Thank you.
one team of 3 saberfishes have breached the perimeter and are streaming towards your guys' position. Theo, they seem as shocked to see you all as you are to see them. Which, understandably, there's been no mobile suits in this fight so far. Like,
Yeah, that tracks.
I am pulling you first, Theo, since you made the awareness roll as you see these guys come in. What do you do?
All right. I am going to.
And talking within reason is free, so if you do want to call out that they've breached the perimeter, you can do that for free.
Yeah, I'll definitely call out and break radio silence. They're broken through the battle line. We got saberfish incoming.
what?
About damn time.
And I will. Well, distance. How are we doing about with these?
You are starting at long range, effectively.
starting at long. All right.
As these guys were speeding in, you're holding a defensive position. They didn't see you. You saw them. You all kind of had that come up, uh-oh moment of, wait, there's enemies here.
All right. I would like to. Some interesting choices. I'll be a little cavalier about it. I'm going to try to move up. I'm going to move up,
Go on.
and then I'm going to try to. I suppose I'm going to try to suppress if I can get into range.
So you do have a bazooka, I would point out, so keep
Yeah.
that in mind.
Yeah.
Instead of suppressing, you might want to just try to lob a shell in the middle of them and hope it gets them. You could also, if you want to try to do cool guy stuff already, you could try to charge them and start punching them.
Is there?
If you want to say bazooka ammo too, is the other part there because you
Sure,
only had
that's
6.
probably smart. Can I? All right, I have my train of thought. If I close in distance, can I try to get them to tail me?
Okay, you want to try to pull them off the colony workers and onto you. Okay, yeah, you can absolutely
Exactly.
do that. I'm going to ask you to, if you refer to the cheat sheet, I'm actually going to have you make a move check, and then I'm going to have you make a deception poise mobility because you are flying flashy to catch their attention. You've got you have a very. I'm giving you a +1 here because you have one detail here that's going to help your little thing you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what that is?
I assume it's my bright yellow shoulder pad.
Exactly. So you are rolling the move check first. So just basically 3d6 under 13 if you refer to the cheat sheet.
That's gonna be 14, unfortunately.
Okay. So what you're still moving, you're just not able to do this as effectively as you would have wanted. So basically what this means is you don't actually get that far away from the colony workers, and you didn't roll bad enough that I'm going to give them a bonus to hitting you though or anything because that was fairly just a mild failure.
Mhm.
Now for the keen or poise, deception, mobility, please.
Yes. And then the nimble bonus only applies to dodging, correct?
Correct. It is a penalty applied also to their attacks is the big thing.
Ah,
So if you have a nimble rating of 1, they take a -1 to their hits at you. All right, what is your results, Pacifist Crush?
so for mobility, that's gonna be 3 degrees of failure.
Oof. Okay. So obviously, checkmark deception as well. Checkmark
Yes.
maneuver because you failed the other one. This does put you in a pretty bad position, Theo. You start to do this maneuver that you maybe saw your team lead do a few times in the past to catch people's attention. But unfortunately, it is not enough for you, and you basically end up you're still moving, but you've ended up positioning yourself in such a way that you're more just drifting rather than active maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you turn to see if they were following you, and that's they are not. So Theo has left formation is there. Theo, you get to pass it to one other person now. You can either pass it to another player or you could pass it to an NPC. Since this is your guys' first combat, I'm going to give you what I call the tutorial talk, which is I will occasionally give you combat advice.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, I would strongly advise you pass it to your team leader so that he can potentially set up a team action or give bonuses to people potentially.
Yeah, I think that's probably the smartest. So I will, in fact, pass to Isaac.
Okay, Isaac, you're polled. What do you do? You've seen red team. You've seen Theo breach the formation to try to pull them away, but they are not. These Fetties know what's happening. They know what this is. They are laser focused on those colonies.
I'm just gonna yell, "Knock them down!" And I would like to give everyone a positive modifier for their next check.
Okay, is that all you are doing?
Then let's think. I'm just gonna. I would like to bum rush green team and then blast them with the.
None of the other teams are here yet. As a reminder, it is just red team.
I'd like to bum rush red team and blast them with the Zaku machine gun.
Okay, so make the order. Make me the move check with a -1, and then make me the machine gun attack with a -2 for snapshot. Remember,
Alrighty. What
in
would you like?
terms of the
Oh, you had.
go on. Okay, so for the order, I'm going to ask you to be rolling in this case. This was very professional, straightforward. Just give me a charm and leadership, basically. 2d6.
That's an 8.
All right.
It's exactly an 8.
All right, and I believe that just gives if those following the order, it just gives them a +1, right?
Counterpoint. I have commander variant, which means whatever I naturally roll, the effect is 1 higher than it would be normally.
True. So everyone gets a +2 if they just rush these red team guys. Which bad news for red team.
Yeah, you would put that
Alright.
in meta and check modifier.
Yep. All right. So next, handle your move check for me, please. Just do the standard move. We're not gonna do anything fancy here for your guys' first combat.
4 successes.
All right. You hit the thrusters. That's gonna be enough to at least get you into close range.
So that counteracts the extra shot modifier. I'd like this to be a snapshot, if that's all right.
Yeah, it is a snapshot.
Alrighty, so that brings me to a 12. Actually, no, 10 when you account for my target's nimble. And I got a 10.
All right, that's one success. So you send some of those shells flying at red team, and you hit what you knock out 2 of them right out the gate.
Can I spend
from red.
a narrative point to turn that into 2 successes?
Sure. So, this is a great time to explain a mechanic, however. The saberfishes are using something called squadron rules. What that means is each individual saberfish in a team, so that we're not tracking like 12 individual saberfishes, when they team up in groups of 3 or 4, each individual one above the first gives a +1 to armor and a +1 to attacking. So when Isaac shot these guys and did 2 damage on his Zaku machine gun, he narratively shot the other 2 wingmates in red team out of the sky. So the last remaining, like the red team leader, if you want to call it that, does not get his bonuses or anything now.
Hmm.
Isaac, Mark II fighter victories, and you have really fucked this guy up. You got a glancing hit on like the tail of the red team leader, and it's kind of spiraling. All right.
I'll
That was a narrative point used.
Yep, this brings us
Okay.
an 8. It should be.
You have to pass it to an enemy now.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to pass it to red team because he's fucked up.
All right, red team acts, and he is going to spend his action to fire a signal light.
Can I spend my reaction to kick him or something before he does that? So I
I
want.
don't think you. I think hitting him would just let the signal light go still. I will let you try to snatch the signal light if you can make a move check successfully at a -2.
At a -2. Alrighty, it's worth a shot.
And if you succeed, you may just prevent the GBO2 call.
Let's see. That's 1 failure. Because it's at a -2, correct?
Yep. So you reach for the signal light, and it just slips by you. Like it just barely slips by you and begins pulsing out light.
Ah.
On an emotional and spiritual level, you can all just feel about several turrets turning in your direction.
Lovely.
And almost as if on cue, you see the worst sight of your guys' lives. A light signal is answered almost within optical distance as you see a Magellan and 2 Solomuses full steam ahead, throttling past the formation, punching through, heading towards your position. And the light signal simply says, I am Australian, I am Australian, I am Australian. As you see
Uh-oh.
the FSV Sydney, the FSV Wellington, and the FSV Nagoya charging in the battle formation towards this position. Naturally, the Cuxhaven is immediately opening fire with everything it has. And they are probably going to focus their big guns on the Cuxhaven. You also see 3 more teams of saberfishes flying in with them, using the larger ships for cover, racing ahead now, as your targeting systems identify them as green team, gold team, blue team. And as a result, red team is going to pass it to blue team. And blue team is going to see the one Zaku separated from the rest, and they are going to go in on an attack run on you, Theo.
Yeah, that tracks.
They are not going to fire their missiles because your Minovsky systems are fucking with their targeting systems enough that they don't want to risk doing that at this stage. So they are just going to try to go guns on you as a trio.
All right.
So I will now roll for them. And you may decide what you want to do if you're going to try to dodge or anything.
Um, I am gonna try to dodge.
All
I'm
right.
gonna try to like boost backwards and sort of fall back into position.
Yeah, basically, as these three saberfishes zoom in on you, you're trying to like twist around them and let them overshoot, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, go ahead and make me using your cheat sheet, the MS dodge. Oh, dodge isn't on here anymore, is it?
It's just a move check now.
Yeah, it's just a move check. You're so right. All right, make the
Oh,
move check,
okay.
please.
All right, and the move check was
Just if you look at the cheat sheet, it will tell you what the components are of it. But basically, and this is actually a good time to clarify.
oh
this,
right there
but
it is.
If I ever just call for make a blank check without telling you what's in it, just refer to the cheat sheet.
Right. I keep forgetting that's there. I was getting it and the combat quick reference confused.
And you are just needing to beat 2 successes because with your nimble, you knock down their successes to 2.
So that's going to be a 1, a 1, and a 3. So that's 5 on 13.
Theo, that's an awakening point. So add an awakening point, please, as something just clicks into place for you. And as these guys dive in on you, you just effortlessly almost dodge each and every one of them, causing them to overshoot, turn around, twist around. Like you even very briefly see the pilot of one of them, and you can see behind his polarized goggles as the light perfectly reflects how surprised he is, even after all these combats. And that is the end of blue team. And they are going to pass it to. I think it would be funny to pass it to Jean. So we're going to pass it to Jean.
Well, Jean's a little bit taken by surprise in all of this. But he knows his job. Damn the saberfish. If those sons of bitches ships gets within megaparticle distance, the Cuxhaven's life is not what they're going to be worried about. They could blow up the damn colony. And so, Jean, how do I put this? Jean has piloted this Zaku enough to know that your electronics lie to you. They'll tell you got a lock and you don't. It's not real. So it's at long range for those ships, yeah. Or are they very
correct.
long range?
They would be at. They would be. You're correct. They would be at very long range right now, but they are rapidly approaching the location to the point that I am willing to call it long range if you have any forward momentum. You know what I mean?
Well, I kind of want to take a risk. So Jean kind of lets out a whoop as he sends the Zaku one careening forward. It's kind of shaken. He's making it go pretty quick. As he rockets forward, kind of between the Magellan and the Cuxhaven, because it's how he's gonna line up a good shot for a snapshot. I would like to take a risk to perform a snapshot / move and shoot.
All right. So you're gonna roll me first. You're gonna roll me the basic move, and this is gonna see if you get into the position to do this.
Yep.
If you mess up the move, it might give you additional penalties to this. Are you
That's fine.
aiming for a specific component of the Magellan? Because that's also going to be important here.
I don't think snapshots. Snapshots can aim, huh? He's going for broke. Fuck it, we're going for the bridge.
Okay. So there's going to be an
Have a
additional
+2.
negative penalty here.
That's
So
Don't you have a +2 from Isaac as well?
no, because he's not chasing red team.
Yeah, it's not chasing
Isaac's
red team.
order was to chase
Oh.
red team. Jean's going
Okay.
capital ship hunting, which,
Yep.
if he pulls this off, could really make this very good for you guys right now. Like,
We go
Alright.
for broke.
so I'm gonna first let's resolve the move check. So go ahead and roll that. Tell me what you get.
All right. Sorry, I was looking at the narrative point stuff.
No worries.
Oh. Okay. So that'll be a 11 and my move cheat sheet says 12.
Yep. So that would be 2 successes for you. So that's enough to get you into position. It's not going to give you any bonuses, but it gets you where you need to be to take this shot.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to tell you what the total cumulative penalty for targeting the bridge of the ship is right now, because this is your second check on this action. Your aim is going to, unless you're aiming, in which case it technically becomes your third. So I wouldn't bother aiming in this case, and more just making the cold shot of, targeting this location.
Okay.
So if you're targeting this location, that's a -3. With the negative, you're getting a. Oh God, sorry. 1 second. Just
No
have
problem.
to. I lost track of my own mental thoughts there for a moment.
Take your time.
Okay, so you moved. That was fine. No penalties from that. You're aiming for the bridge. That's just going to be a -3 because you're targeting the ship. And yeah, no other penalties right now. Oh wait, no, -1 from this being your second check. That's right.
So cumulative of -3.
Cumulative -4. I would recommend spending a narrative point to
Ow.
reduce that.
I'll make a narrative point.
Right. So that gives you a +2, bringing
And
it to a net -2 for this ship.
Okay. That is unfortunately a 12. Which that'll be 2 degrees of failure, I believe, with the success
Jean,
calculator.
you position yourself perfectly. You snap up this anti-ship rifle, but you've never shot this thing outside of simulations before. And as you so eloquently put, nothing can prepare you for the real thing, and technology lies. You line up the perfect shot on the bridge, and then at the last moment, a slight drift in your movement as like the last of your propellant shifts you like an inch to the left, throws the shot off, sends the shell just above the bridge, almost close enough that, Jean, that you could swear it scraped to the top. You see the AA guns turning towards you.
Yeah. What do I mark as failure on that one? Is that
You would mark firearms as your failure
okay?
because you have a very small chance of increasing it to a 6.
Here's hope.
But yeah, you can't make it a 6 at character creation, but through training you can get it to a 6.
Yeah.
All right, who do you want to pass it to, bud?
I'll send it to. Hey Sigurd. How you doing, bub?
You never ask.
Tag in.
Sigurd, the situation has gone to shit just like you thought it would. What do you want to do?
Well, we can't let any of these through. Gotta tighten up the net. I want to wrap up the rest of red team. The Heat Hawk.
Terrifying.
Lone saberfish, poor bastard.
All right, so I'm
Yeah,
guessing you're
but he
you're
can
just
still
charging,
mess up the colony workers.
So you're just charging in after it and trying to heat hawk.
Yep. Just
All right,
roaring.
make the move check first, and I preemptively marked it as destroyed. Whoops. Make the move check first, and then if you get a bunch of successes, that's going to translate to your melee quite nice.
So that's 3d6 shooting for 10.
If that is what your move check says, yes.
Yeah, okay. What the hell? I got a 7. Do I have the +2 from Isaac for going for red team though?
Yes, you do. You have another +2. So well done.
That would be still 9. Fuck.
Well, it'd be 9
Uh-huh.
under 12, which is 4 successes for you.
Oh yeah, under. Duh. Yeah. So
There is a
that would
calculator
that-
for
actually make it a 5.
successes. It's you
Yeah,
know, very
yeah, I would-
handy.
That would make it a
Would-
5.
I would recommend rolling that. Oh, you had 5 successes, you said?
I would have rolled 5. Yeah, 5 successes.
All right, then you have a +4 to your melee attack on poor red team. Go ahead and roll.
Damn.
This is just going to be, I'm just going to call this grit and melee and reactor because you're just going right in on it.
Okay, so 5, 9, and 3. Ooh, I got a 5, 9, and 3. That's 17. I got 16. 1 success.
Sorry, you got a what for your successes?
1 success.
All right, well, hey,
Unless
that's
the
enough.
+2 applies to that as well.
It would not at this point because it was for your charge action already. That is enough. He's going to try to evade you, and he eats shit. That was 3 6s.
Yeah, I want to kind of like end up in front of him just with the axe held out.
You certainly
Just
do
let him-
with the 3 6s, that's for sure.
Split itself on my axe.
You do that, you cut the saberfish in half, and briefly over the contact comb it makes, you just hear a scream before they're gone. All right, that is you done. You have to pass it to an enemy.
I'm gonna go back to one that hasn't acted, right?
Yes, it has to be one that has not acted.
And gold and green are both saberfishes. Let's pass it to green
Yeah.
team.
The ships are acting out of turn order, as a heads up for everyone to clarify that. They will just act when it is narratively
I
appropriate. for
was
them
gonna
to
say they're your narrative trip up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't mechanically exist on this metaphorical board we're playing on right now.
If they did, they would have large stats and larger hatred.
Exactly.
They still have a great amount of.
I mean, when I watched the fucking score jump from fucking 16, 16, 16, 12 to 48.
All right, you have pulled green team, Sigurd. Green team sees what you just did to red team, and they're not really happy about that, Sigurd. They're actually the opposite of happy. So you have done something very good in that you have pulled aggro off their attack run on the actual construction, as green team is coming right for you, and they just basically missile spam you. As suddenly your alarm system starts blaring in your cockpit, as over 6 missiles fly towards you at once.
May I recommend something?
I'm open to it.
Would you like to do a shrug off?
Yeah.
Gomite, would you like to explain Shrug Off to the class?
So shrug off is much like any mobile suit check, but instead of using mobility reactor systems, you use an armor or shield value instead. The special thing about shrug offs is even if you lose, the difference in when you take damage is the difference in successes.
Okay.
So
I get it. Yeah.
So, like, say I roll a 5 on my shrug off and my opponent rolls a 6 on their attack. I only suffer 1 damage. And
So
because,
it's attempting to lower the damage instead of an all or nothing.
well, thing is, you can lower it to 0, but you do have to take the hit.
It's a conservative action that effectively accepts some risk of failure of like just regular. You are taking the risk that you're gonna get hit regardless, but in exchange for just taking the hit, your potential to like snuff that hit out is a lot better.
Also, a lot of
Okay.
mobile suits aren't good at shrug offs because they tend to have 4 in their armor as opposed to 5s, 6s, 7s, or 8s.
Like the Gundam could probably shrug off incredibly fucking well.
Yeah, it has a 7 in armor.
Huh. And this would be if you had like a Gelgoog tower shield or something like that, you could use shrug off using that shield and it'd be a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Precisely. You
That
hit the
makes
nail.
sense. Okay, cool.
But mobility
And I would be
stealth,
rolling 3 for the shrug
Yes.
off.
Mhm.
Okay.
'cause it looks
Yeah,
like-
I'd like to do a grit armor shrug off.
All right, go ahead and roll.
So that'll
They-
be a 13.
And they have gotten, as a disclaimer, 4 successes when accounting for your nimble.
Okay.
narrative point. We have 7 of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't used one yet. I'm gonna do that.
Now we have 6.
Feed me narrative point.
Smoke them if you got them,
All right.
comrade.
True.
There we go. So that would just make it 1 degree easier for the narrative.
It's a +2.
So, yeah, if you haven't rolled yet, it's
Okay.
a +2.
I have not. All right. So that makes it 15 as my target.
You have really good odds. Here, yeah.
Snake eyes and a 4. That's a 6.
That's an
Snake eyes and a
awakened
4.
point.
That's another awakening. point,
Yes.
6. So,
Bling.
yeah, the missiles either fly around you or splat against your armor with very little effect.
Just standing there in the flames laughing. You're gonna join your buddy soon enough.
Thankfully, they can't hear that, or they would be very mad.
If those pilots could read, they'd be very upset right now.
And that is green team activated. Green team is instead of passing it to an ally, is going to invoke a narrative point and call mom.
Uh-oh.
As the Nagoya, keep in mind before I say this, all their firing control systems don't work, but they still have a lot of flak. So they're just going to throw as much flak in your general direction as they can. And this is a entire squad challenge. You do not have to have a reaction to react to this in this case. This is just, they are throwing this up. This is something that has to be dodged. If you fail to dodge this, you will only be taking 1 damage to your shields. Because it is inaccurate, just volume of fire, essentially.
But is this a narrative saber suck caused by ships that are prepared to do worse?
Exactly. So everyone make me your just MS dodge as you all see the wall of flak erupt around.
I don't know if MS Dodge is on the...
Move
It's
check.
your MS move, yeah.
Oh,
Move.
okay.
Yeah, sorry. If I ever call for MS dodge, just mentally translate to that to MS move.
It's
Unless
Sub
you
move
use
on
it.
the
it's
cheat
a
sheet.
pulled over from earlier versions of the game. 2 successes, by the way.
Yep, all you need is 1 success.
One
Two
I
successes.
met.
I got 2 successes as well.
Okay, dude, or Sigurd, how many successes did you get?
I met.
Okay, so that is 1 success. That is enough. So you all begin ducking and dodging and weaving as the flak and tracers fly through the void, and luckily, none of you are hit. But it knows you're there, and green team will now pass to their buddies in gold team,
Bastards.
and
Do
their
we-
buddies in go on.
I was just to say, did we get that narrative point brought back to
Yes,
our
you did.
goal? Cool.
That goes right back to you, and that is the push and pull here. We are always going to be trading narrative points.
So smoke them when you got them, because otherwise, when it comes back around, they'll get around you.
and-
the only time I've ever seen players not use narrative points if they have all of them.
Yeah, that makes sense. And otherwise, you take risks to get them back, so you can just force the DM to suffer.
Yeah, and what I will say, and I want to make this very clear, is I will never use narrative points in what I call confrontational manner. What I mean by that is I will never use a narrative point to cancel out your narrative point. We do not do the narrative point cancel out wars. It's dumb.
Okay.
It's
Yep,
not,
yep.
It's a big waste of time.
so don't. Yeah, do never worry about me going, aha, you use the narrative point to reroll. Now I'm going to use a narrative point to give myself a +2. No.
I trusted you, but I was a little worried about that back in the back of my head.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to clarify it now when I explained how the back and forth works. This is something where I want you guys to feel comfortable spending them, and you should know that I am going to try to give them back to you as quickly as possible. And that is good and bad.
You will endure the consequences of your actions.
Exactly. All right. So it is Gold Team's activation. You know, they see Sigurd's acted. They've seen Theo go do his thing. They've seen Isaac do his thing. They've seen John. I mean, I think they're generally well aware. So I think what they're actually going to do is they're going to go chasing after the guy with the anti-ship rifle that just tried to kill their mothership.
Bring it on.
So Jean, same thing as what happens with Sigurd. You see 3 saberfishes peel off from their attack run and just start unleashing missiles at you. What do you want to do?
Well, I'm thinking. He's just gonna try to sit there and take it. In terms of just like the shrug off type thing. The Zaku one's maneuvering around, trying to shift in, but it's only really shifting the damage. It's not even using the shield just yet. He's just doing an armor shrug off.
All right, fair enough.
Let me roll that. I'll put in the success calculator. Roll dice. 7 plus 5. Okay. 7 plus 5. That'll be a 12. All right, that's 2 degrees of success on my end.
Unfortunately, they beat you by 1.
That's fine.
So it's good because you're shrugging it off, so you're still reducing damage, but you're still taking damage.
Okay.
As basically just 1 missile hits you and impacts for 1 damage.
And then that was taken to the armor and not to the health points.
If I
Or
understand how
shit.
shrug off works, which admittedly Gomine did a great explanation, but shrug off is one of the ones I struggle with. Yes.
Okay, that's fine. All right. Well,
All right,
thank you.
and all that is left is they can only give it to good old George, who's been waiting patiently in the wings. George, you've been.
All right. Are they within like a range I can shoot them at, or do I need to?
Yeah, assume at this point everyone's in engagement ranges from each other. You're in a dogfight now.
Like medium to short range. We're rocking it now.
All right, then. I'm going to make this aimed and then do two bursts at 2 separate squads. So the first one is just flat because they aimed. Shot 11. All right, let's see what I get. That's pretty bad. I'm gonna use a narrative die to reroll that.
Oh.
We are.
For posterity, how bad is it?
6, 6, and 5.
Okay.
Ooh.
Fair enough, brother.
Oh, also,
Damn.
just for the record, because you know some of you are new to OpV, you can't re-roll critical failures.
Oh wait, yeah, you're right.
With a narrative, that's
I
not a
forgot.
critical failure. It's just close to one.
That'd be full. That'd be full boxcars the entire way.
Yeah, it's
That'd
Yeah,
be
you
three.
were 1
Okay.
off from bad times.
That would have been
yeah, it's
exceptionally awful.
the highest rolls, regardless if it's 2d6 or 3d6, automatically fails. So if it's all 6s, it's always a failure. Even if you have, like, say, on a 2d6, a 13 for your skill check, if you roll 12, it's still a failure. But the opposite is also true. Like, say you have a skill threshold of 1 and you roll a 2.
All right, let's see what
So,
I get this time.
Yeah, what did you get this time, George? And keep in mind they have nimble 2.
The first narrative die would have canceled that out, right? Oh no, they aimed, not. All right.
Yeah, aim
Alright.
would have canceled that out.
All right. One failure. All right, let's try this next one. It's -3 because I have multitasker.
Yeah, so
So-
you send some rounds towards green team, seeing them, try to engage Jean, but your rounds just kind of go wide. Jean, a few come a little danger close to you, but none actually come enough that you're too worried about it.
Enough flag out here as is.
George, you switch targets over to gold team. Go ahead and roll.
All right, let's see what I get. Please be better. Still not good enough. 3 failures. Bugger.
I'm so sorry,
Alright.
Mark.
My dice have lost all of their luck since last session. They've been destroyed.
At least you're getting it out of the way in Loom. Everybody's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you fire off some rounds, but you're not hitting anything. These guys, they're good, George. These are survivors of the 1 week battle. They're not exactly. They know what you guys can do. And they are flying fast to try to use their speed. They know you're more maneuverable, so they're just trying to go fast. All right, George, you get to pass. It is the new turn. You get to pass it to whoever you want. You can do it to a friend or a foe. I don't know why you'd pass it to a foe, but you could.
For the
I'm gonna
bit,
pass
for
it
the-
to Isaac.
Isaac.
All right, we activate on Isaac.
I
Isaac, you're in a bit of a shit show right now, bud.
have an idea.
A dangerous idea, I hope.
Oh yes, a very dangerous idea. How
How
long? How
dangerous?
far away am I from those ships?
You'd be at long range.
Ooh, long range. Actually, that works out quite well for me. I'd like to activate my ace in a day.
Go ahead and explain to the others what it does.
What ace in a day does is once per session and a turn, I may take 3 checks with no negative modifiers.
Damn.
So I'm going to send a single burst into the. I'm going to attempt to send a single burst into each of the bridges of the ships.
Go mine. This was a lovely idea. Unfortunately, I must remind you of a certain baggage you have.
Oh, hyper aggressive?
Yes, you are within medium range of these saberfishes. You must engage the saberfishes.
Oh, that's also a good point.
You want to pass on an order, maybe, and you can clean up the saberfish and have
Oh,
me
I could-
and
I would
Jean.
like to attempt to attack all 3 saberfish teams then instead.
All right.
That's fair.
As snapshots.
All right. Isaac's really trying to prove that leadership right now. Okay, go ahead, roll those snapshots.
Do I
them
get a
roll what they
positive
thought.
modifier for point blank or anything like that?
No, because everyone's actively maneuvering, and you're essentially still within short to medium range of
Ah.
all these guys.
Oh.
I'll give you point blank on one of them. I'll let you pick which one.
The first one then. Why not? So that
All
points
right,
me up for
green
a
team.
15 on my first one. That's 16. Rolled bad. Actually, I don't even mind if I spend another narrative point, because I could
Go crazy.
easily waste this team if I roll a little better.
I mean, I'd be down with it. Less actions on the board is better.
Alrighty, I'll do so. You're down to
This is
5
the way.
narrative points.
Oh, okay.
That's significantly better.
What did you get, Isaac?
8 successes.
All right, that's certainly enough. Jean, there is another hail of 120 millimeter of fire, but before you can maybe reprimand or make another witty remark about too much flack, you see each of the green team saberfishes just blink out, explode, secondary detonations from missiles going off.
And
Woo! Yeah! Fucking-
Add another 3 fighter victories, Isaac.
I'll make my second attack check. That's 5, 11, 3 successes. 3 successes.
Okay, so that is that is a total of 6. That is still enough. That's gold team gone. As you just twist Isaac, and saberfishes start falling and blipping it. All that's left is gallant blue team.
And another 3 successes.
We will. All right, these ones finally rolled well. So unfortunately, blue team is very aware of what you're doing at this point to their butt, and they managed to twist out of the way barely.
And
So
before I
add a
leave
total
off,
of
yeah,
6 fighter victories to your sheet.
and before I pass my turn, I want to yell out. I want that Magellan gone.
All right, who do you pass it to?
Who do I make for a leadership check?
I would say probably Jean, since he has the anti-ship rifle.
Alrighty, what do I make?
In this case, I'm going to say with what you just did before this, I'm going to make it actually grit. Because this is a very, wow, our team leader actually has hands. What the fuck?
Any positive modifiers? My grit's only a 3.
Your positive modifier is the warm, fuzzy feeling you have in your heart from becoming an ace in a day.
Alrighty. 1 success, because I'm commander variant. Jean, please give yourself a +2 if you attack that ship.
Okay.
All
I'm
right,
gonna...
and we pass to Jean.
Yeah, because there are no enemies to pass to.
Uh,
Actually, no,
Well, no, there's blue team.
I-
Yeah, there's blue team.
I
Blue
must
team's still
pass to
living.
blue team then, because George gave me this turn, so I must pass to an enemy.
Yeah, you're very
That's
right.
fine.
Blue team fucking hates you, Isaac. Fancy that. As they immediately
Got me out of
stop
hot water.
everything else they were doing, and all 3 of them are just rushing at you, guns blazing.
I would like to shoot them back.
All right, you're gonna react fire to shoot them back.
Mm-hmm.
They have rolled 6 successes.
6 successes. And I'd like this to be a snapshot. Actually, a suppressive fire, if that's all right.
Yeah, go ahead.
So that brings me to a 13. Eight successes.
All righty. And if I recall, suppressive fire just basically immediately gives them a negative.
Yep.
Okay. And what is the negative range again, just for clarity?
Well, it should be only to -6s. Because, thing is, like, it's a -8, but I can't affect their check more than a 6.
So it would be a -6. So 1 success flat, basically. So 1 gunshot hits your shield and blows like the shoulder shield off from
Actually,
the autocannon burn.
and just to introduce a new mechanic, when an enemy attacks your allies, you are allowed to use a reaction at that point.
Yeah. If anyone would like to, or you.
There's no reason not to.
ace and ace.
Yeah, why not? I have.
Wait,
I'll charge up and take
Am
that
I-
ping for him.
okay.
Well, like, you can just do a simple suppressive fire, and if you get 1 success, I'm in the clear.
Oh, fair enough. I will do that then.
All right, Theo, you fire one of your bazooka shots to set up an explosion to try to throw these guys off their attack. Go ahead and roll the MS ordnance check.
All right. Would that be a snapshot for?
I would say
Suppressive?
I would say so, because you're basically snapping around and trying to suppress these guys on a react. I'm pretty easygoing with the snapshots because a lot of combat in this game is snapshots unless you're literally standing still.
Wow, this is like
That's true.
Zeta Gundam.
All right, so that's going to be 3 degrees of success.
All right,
with
that
an
is
11.
enough. You set an explosion that throws them off course, and Isaac is spared, losing his precious shoulder sheath.
Wow.
Lucky me.
All right, and now, since blue team has acted, they have no friends they can call in. They are going to just pass it over to Jean because they really don't have a choice, and it doesn't really matter who goes from their perspective, right?
Jean is taking a little bit of a risk because he's been lingering around this Magellan. The Magellan's looking at him. He's looking at the Magellan. He's looking down the barrel. The round has cycled. And he breathes in. He breathes out. He doesn't think about like, oh, what's the best possible way to aim? How can I adjust my systems? How can I No. He relies on the feel. He relies on the adjustment. He knows his squad leader is banking on him to do this. He takes aim, so mark the reaction. He uses a narrative point to give himself a +2. So we are down
To 4.
to 4 narrative points. So your leadership gave me a +2. I'm giving myself a +2 with this. I'm trying to hope. I'm hoping that this shot's like a keen type thing, like it's
Oh, it will be a
reflexes
keen.
field. So 17 -3 from the -2 from the called shot. Threshold will be 15.
Yep.
And that is a 6. So let me put that into
10
the
successes?
threshold
9?
uh,
A lot. It's a lot
uh,
of successes.
Let me look at this. See, there's 6. That is 10 successes. 10 degrees of success.
John, you sight it in, you send the shell downrange. You watch and you see the sparks fly as if in slow motion as the high velocity shell impacts right into the armored glass of the bridge, burrows through, and then the submunitions split and detonate as the entire bridge of the Sydney suddenly stops transmitting its signal and explodes, detonate. The Sydney begins drifting, as without mission control, it is essentially lifeless. You have killed the Sydney.
Nice shot.
Add a battleship victory, which has now made you an ace because that counts as 7 victories.
Still 2 more to go.
And on that note, I spend a narrative point
Yep.
as the
Right.
Nagoya turns its NPCs, finally gets a lock on the Cuxhaven, and fires. The
Can
Cuxhaven
I-
fires its own shots back. There's that extreme of fire exchange. You know, the Cuxhaven scores a hit or two on the Nagoya, but nothing that really seems to be critical. I am going to let you ask your question now because I heard you start.
Jean has the reinforced shoulder shield, and he's close enough to these ships because of his reckless actions beforehand. That's how he positioned himself between the Sydney and the Cuxhaven. Can I take a risk, a major risk,
I'm listening.
and position, and Jean throws Maisie with the shoulder shield brought to bear in front of a volley that he doesn't have time to think if it's going to connect. He doesn't have time to think if it's going to work. But he just goes off a raw feel, off of the, esprit de corps, all the experience he's gotten, to try to use as much of this Zaku's fucking armor that he has to prevent the Cuxhaven from getting struck.
All right. I will let you do this, but I'm going to outline the consequences right now because this is a major. At best case scenario, you are getting mission killed from this because this is a mega particle cannon hitting you head on.
That's fair. That's true.
Worst case scenario, very, very bad things happen.
I died. Fucking-
Yeah, exactly.
I died.
So, knowing that, do you still want to take that?
I want to, but I won't.
I understand. That's why I wanted to outline that very clearly.
I kind of figured the risk. I had to hear it. I had to at least know.
No,
I'm sorry.
Nothing to apologize for. Brownie points for trying. The Nagoya hits the Cuxhaven, and there are detonations across the Cuxhaven as it begins listing. And suddenly, over your comms, you hear the call, Admiral Dozel's retreating! Dozel Zabi is retreating. This has never happened in this war so far.
That's my hero.
Aye,
That's
sharp,
my
gentlemen.
guy.
And then a second narrative point I am giving back to you all. As you all see, the Wellington, as soon as the Sydney starts to detonate, just put everything into its thrusters and is rapidly shooting towards the column, traversing its gun. All right, who are you passing it to, Jean?
Okay.
Sigurd, pass it to Sigurd.
Yeah, Sigurd, please. Sigurd, I need you. Sigurd.
Charge them. Charge.
All right.
Also,
Let's see.
anyone who listed themselves as a Dozelist in any capacity, you have a -1 going forward now due to the news that Dozel is retreating.
Howdy. Thanks.
Damn it. All right.
I'll keep it in mind.
Let's see. So am I still at decent distance from the battleship?
Oh yeah, the Wellington is very close to you guys now. You can literally read its name on its hull.
Charge.
And has it taken an attack at? Let me see. Because I have it's me you want,
The
but
Wellington
you
has
have
not
to attack
attacked
an
anyone.
ally. So
The
okay.
Wellington has not attacked anyone. The Nagoya has.
That's not the one. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to the Wellington's the bigger threat right now, right? Or the most present threat.
Well, the Nagoya's targeting our way home, but the Wellington is burning straight for the colony we've been assigned to defend.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
this is what we like to call a tough decision. Do you prioritize your squad's potential evacuation from this mission, or do you prioritize your mission? The choice is yours, Sigurd.
I'm gunning it towards the Wellington.
All right,
Shit.
you give me that MS move. As it
Alright.
begins throwing up flak, as they are well aware there are Zaku's in the area, they're not aiming at you. I really need to stress that. They are just throwing that shit up.
All right, so that is 7. That is a fail. 7, 12, -1 modifier, so that is 3 failures.
Just 3 failures. All right, give me one.
Should I reroll that?
Probably.
Yeah.
Sure. We'll mark that. We'll be back down to 5 narrative points.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna reroll that. That was bad.
Okay.
All right.
Throw it out.
Bloody hell.
We just throw it to the trash.
Did you get worse?
Is it worse?
Well, that's 4 degrees of failure.
Fuck.
All right, your shield is ripped from your shoulder, Sigurd, as the flak actually manages to hit you, and you are unable to close with the Wellington.
Good. That my turn.
Yes, since your turn was reliant on the charge
Getting
going
there.
through, so to speak. Yeah.
Copy
So,
that.
Sigurd, you have to pass it to an enemy. You can't because they're all gone. So, since there is no enemy to pass it to,
What about blue
uh,
team?
yeah, blue team's already acted.
Oh,
You can
okay.
pass it to either Theo or George, but before you do, I'm going to again give you all narrative points
Fuck.
Plural,
as the
huh?
Nagoya fires a secondary volley at the Cuxhaven.
So that's puts us at 6.
Puts yeah.
Yeah. and you all see a Minovsky reactor detonation as the shots perfectly impact into one of the twin engine reactors of the Cuxhaven. And all of your screens shake and dim for a moment to protect you from the light.
Well, there goes our
Cuxhaven is
ride.
destroyed.
Bad. No, they can eject those engines. They might be fine.
You look over your shoulder. It is not fine.
Well, we better win this one. The Sydney's the
what's
only
his
way out.
face?
The Sydney's the only way we're getting out of this one now.
All right. Who are you passing it to, Sigurd?
I'll go to George.
All right, George. You see the Nagoya just killed your mothership. The Wellington is steaming towards the colony. And Blue Team is aching for vengeance. What are you prioritizing?
Ugh. I guess I'm going for the Nagoya. All right, so
Actually, Mark, may I propose something?
if you have a suggestion, go for it. Yeah.
Because I have Devil's Luck, I'm very hard to actually kill, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because I have Hyper Aggressive, I have to focus on Blue Team. If
Mm-hmm.
Blue Team is removed, I can bum rush the Nagoya at the top of the turn.
Okay.
Hmm.
Fair enough.
There's plenty of time for him to do stuff, but at the same time, I get the logic.
All right. I guess I'm going to use my action to give me a +2, so that cancels out the nimble. But I have my +1 because I like Dozel, and I guess I'm gonna do this first volley, and then I'm gonna do a second one if they're still kicking.
Fair enough. Yeah, you're gunning it. Like you're just firing whatever you can to try to
Hold
get
on.
these guys.
I'm gonna use a narrative. I'm gonna add +2.
Yeah, fair enough.
You guys gotta die. They gotta go.
Like I said, the situation is not great.
All right, come on, a little bit more luck than usual, dice. Ugh. All right, 13. One failure. Ah. All right, so time for the second ball. Let's see if this is better. All right. One success.
Hey, there we go.
Finally.
And they have rolled 2 failures on their attempt to maneuver away, so you have hit them. Bang, bang. You shoot 2 of Blue Team's members out. You haven't wiped out the team, but you took down the 2 wingmates.
And Mark said he wanted to do a second check, so...
That was the second check.
That was the
Ah.
second check.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
ouch.
so
Yeah.
Blue Team is
Hey,
still in action. All right, George, you can pass it
Hey,
to...
Mark II fighter victories.
Yeah, 2 fighter victories, though. George, who you passing it to, buddy? Just
I
Theo.
guess-
That's a trick
yeah,
question.
it's Theo. I guess it's to Theo if I have to.
Yeah, if I have to. Damn.
I suppose so.
All right, Theo, it's your go. You're looking at this situation, and because of your early awareness, I'm actually going to give you a runoff effect of this. You do see that the rest of the main Xeon fleet is in full retreat,
Shit. Yeah.
as the Federation fleet has now essentially bulged into your guys' lines. Like the defensive line is gone. It is
Falling
you are
apart.
about to be surrounded by other Federal ships very soon.
And our ship is destroyed, or at least disabled.
In the Cuxhaven, there was a big reactor explosion, and the ship is listing lifelessly at this point. If it's
Alright.
still operational, who knows? It's at the very least mission kill.
All right. So I doubt that that's going to be our ride out of here. So I'm going to, because of the nebulous time period of tabletop combat, I am going to rocket up behind Sigurd during his charge. And once the flak sort of stops his advance, I'm going to use him as a stepping stone to bolt closer to the Wellington.
Okay, I like this.
I'm basically going to try to get close enough to like touch down on the hull and slam my fucking bazooka into the bridge for point
This-
blank.
Woo!
This is going to be really dangerous, especially with all the flak the Wellington's throwing up right now. But if you pull it off, this will be the best chance you have of disabling the Wellington.
That would be my hope here. I'm definitely going to use a narrative point.
Fair enough.
And
right.
my. So it's
Make
going to
a-
be a move first, correct?
Yeah, make your move check as your thrusters lighten up. You guys are gonna need to top off on propellant after all this.
Yeah, right. All right.
Mhm.
So that's going to be.
It's only if you had a ship to do it with.
Move is 13,
Did I do
15 with the narrative point, right?
Yes, sir.
2, 4, 6, 12. That's going to be 4 degrees of success on that one.
You weave through the flak batteries, passing Sigurd on your way, and as you just jet in, you get it. You screech on metal as you hit the hull and are able to twist your bazooka around. Now, for attacking the bridge, as before, it's a -2. Since this is your second action, you get that additional penalty as well.
What about point blank range?
Point blank range, you know what? Normally I would say no, but because of the sheer insanity and what I was going to hit you with if you had failed that move check,
Mhm.
I'm going to say yes. Point blank range will apply.
All right. So that puts me at a net.
-1.
Net -1. All right. So that's going to be that. I'm going to selfishly try to use another narrative point.
How
if that's
dare
cool
you
with
try
you.
to kill a
brother,
ship?
kill the ship. We have 3 narrative
All right.
points left.
Yes.
He's gonna hit us with hell regardless. You just got to do it.
All right. So as I skitter to a halt with the bazooka lined up basically right at the edge of the bridge's windscreen, I just over contact comms go, "Good day, mates."
You hear a New Zealand accent swearing as they start to order out flak.
Not because you're Xeon, but because you assume they're Australian.
Look at me.
All right. So with that roll, that's going to be with the narrative point that bumps that -1 narrative point. That'll put that to that, and my roll is 10. So that's going to be 5 successes.
Woo-hoo!
That's enough. You pump bazooka rounds into the bridge of the Wellington, and secondary detonations begin ripping through it and the spine. You have to leap off it quickly as those secondary detonations hit the munition storage for the AA batteries. Add a cruiser kill.
Hell yeah,
Hell
brother.
yeah.
Please don't give the turn to me.
Oh, unfortunately for you, history will not let it be your turn.
Oh,
It's, it must go to blue team. As the last blue team pilot will be spending his narrative point to send a missile careening right towards the colony construction ship. It appears this Federation pilot has decided to damn the civvies in this case out of desperation to stop the colony.
Can I use my reaction to shoot him?
Unfortunately, there's a narrative point happening here, Mark.
Arr.
Unfortunately, the actual weight of history is against you. Please write your complaints with Tom.
fucking you, Kajima, over here.
Brings us
As,
back up to 4 narrative points at the very
Mark,
least.
as George. I will say, since you did say you were going to shoot it, you are going to get it and get the victory, as he essentially tunnel visions onto getting the missile.
Arr.
Yeah.
There is a detonation in the colony ship as you hear several of the workers screaming and being in panic. Add a fighter victory as you destroy blue team. And then you see it. You all see it. the Federation have completely pushed your fleet back. There is no friendly signatures left anywhere. The entire fleet seems to be in full retreat. Magellans and Salamis are surging forward. And then the Nagoya explodes.
I click my tongue. I was hoping to get that victory.
Unfortunately, a certain asshole you all know too well in a red mobile suit leaps past it.
Ah,
As you see the rest of the mobile suit corps, like the wrath of God, slamming into the now exposed and overextended Federation fleet.
Where the hell have they been?
And it suddenly hits you. You were the bait.
How many good men and women died just for. Damn it!
Hundreds, if not
ones.
1,000 plus Zakus are darting in between the Federal ships and the Saberfish, racking up victories, slamming into it. And the colony drop is all but forgotten. It has failed. But Loom has been won. In the aftermath, you hear that Admiral Revel has been captured. And the stand down order is given. You survived the Battle of Loom. The Cuxhaven was not so lucky, as were dozens of Moose size, lost mostly with all hands in a lot of cases. The death toll that you see in those reports before it gets promptly censored and readjusted to proper number is truly staggering. To some of you, it feels like over 30%, maybe even 50% of the Xeon Space Force has been killed or wounded or maimed to the point of ineffectivity anyways. And yet, the feds were mauled even worse. Admiral Revel's gone, their space fleet crippled. You all are recovering. Behind the lines, back at we'll say Granada. We'll say you all got leave on the moon. Is where we'll start you for the next episode. When you hear the news, the Federation is going to surrender. Delegates are going to Earth to negotiate a treaty in the Antarctic cities. Celebrations erupt all out throughout Granada. And that is where our session ends.